Today we're going to be replacing and testing the starter on the 1971 C10. This is going to be pretty much the same on really anything, but especially small block Chevy, big block Chevy, small block Ford, big block Ford, all the older cars, pre-87, and really pretty much everything. But specifically, this is going to be small block Chevy and C10. So I'm having a no start issue where you hit the key and it does nothing. So I suspect it's the starter, but we're gonna find out. So here we go. So the starter is located right behind your headers or exhaust manifolds, right back here. You can see right on top, there's our starter solenoid. You can see we've got all those wires are going to our main power, and then we have one that is coming from our ignition. Pretty hard to tell from this view, but that's our solenoid sitting on the top of our starter. Show you from the bottom. Alright, so here it is from the bottom. So as you can see, there are two bolts holding it on there, and you'll have to remove those 9/16 bolts and then pull off all of our wires. You can see right in there exactly where our Bendix and our flex plate, or if it's a manual, your flywheel, where they come together. So you just pull those bolts, take the wires off, take it off, slap the new one on. She should be good to go. So I got the starter off. Now I'm going to show you guys how to bench test the starter. What you're going to need is some jumper cables, an old screwdriver, and possibly a hammer. So on these starters, you'll see on the back of the solenoid, we have our main post, our S, which is our switch, and then our R. What we're going to do is we're going to hook up our jumper cables to the battery, because we've already checked it and we know that it has a full battery. So we hooked up our jumper cables to the truck. First, we're going to take our positive and throw it on our main. So it's going to be our main power. And then we're going to take our ground, and we're just going to go ahead and put it on the body, because what grounds the starter is where the two bolts come through. Now, we take our screwdriver and we're going to make contact with our main post and our switch post. Our switch post is what comes from the ignition. And what should happen is this, which is our little pinion gear that makes contact with the flywheel or flex plate, depending on if you've got an automatic or not. It should slide out and spin if everything is working correctly. So, touch it to our main, touch it here. Get some sparks going. So, nothing's happening. It's not coming out, and it's not doing nothing. It's just arcing. So, it's definitely a bad starter. Now, sometimes you can couple whacks. And that's not going to do nothing for us. So as you can see, this starter it's done. So we will slap the new starter on. Alright, so now we've got the new starter. As you can see, I've done the same thing. Put our positive, hooked up cables to a battery, put our positive on our main terminal, grounded it to there, Now you'll see whenever I trip across my main terminal to my switch terminal, it's the Benedict's is gonna come out and spin. So that's how we know this one is good. Now we'll slap it on. Alright, so I got the new starter slapped on it. It's just two 9/16 bolts, and then the wires. You know, in mine. There's a couple of different wires going to the main, and then there's one wire going from the ignition switch to the S terminal on the starter. But we got the new starter slapped on. Let's see if that fixed it. Yep, that'll do it. Alright guys, so there she is. She's all done. You can see I went ahead and slapped a new Optima red top battery in it as well. But that's how you replace the starter in small block Chevy C10, or pretty much anything big block, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, you name it. It's all kind of the same. But alright.